Hey YouTube, today we're going to talk quickly about oil and oil filters because I've been watching a lot of videos, been reviewing a lot of stuff, and I get frustrated because a lot of people say, oh, it's too hard to change my oil. Oh, I don't want to get, gross or oily or whatever. First of all, if you want to drive a car, you should be able to take care of it. You're touching gasoline, gasoline is gross. If you get that all over, everybody's gotten it all over their shoes or all over their clothes at least once. And oil's not that bad if you have the right tools, if you do it carefully. So with that, quick couple things, what you need to do is get the right kind of oil, okay? The reason why I like to do it myself is because I don't trust shops. I have this 99 Corolla I'm always working on, and some idiot from Walmart, because this is where they had it done, used the pneumatic tool and did that on the oil plug. Okay, what that did is that stripped those threads out, and now I have a leaking oil plug problem, which means that the right way to fix that is to drop the oil pan and replace it. Now, again, this car was a kind of a gift almost to us, so I'm not gonna sit there and spend tons of time and money on this. I just want my kid to be able to drive. But it got me thinking, so while I'm changing the oil, I was like, what can I do to remedy this? So what they did is they put RTV on the oil plug, and whatever, at least it stopped leaking. So I changed the gasket. But all that to say, that's why I don't trust anybody with any of my cars doing my oil, because it's so simple and cheap. So first, the right oil to get for your car is usually either a quick Google search. If you want to check your manual, it's probably in the very back, but the easiest place is the actual oil cap. So I'm going to pause it, take it to the car, and we're going to go look at the oil cap. This is the engine. If you don't know what an engine is, you should probably rethink what you're doing about changing your own oil. But even still, my daughter will be changing her oil soon, because I think anybody can do this. This is the oil cap. So if I take this off, or at least unscrew it so you can see, this tells you that it is safe for it to have 5W30. Okay, 5W30. So let's go back to the bench. Show you. This oil is not 5W30. This is 0W20. This is actually for my Pilot. This is what my Pilot calls for. So I have the other kind of right oil for that car. So this is for the Pilot. This is what it says on that oil cap. So if you're not sure which oil to put in your car, buy that kind of oil. The other thing is, a long time ago, back let's say the late 90s, early 2000s, people were like, oh my God, conventional oil versus synthetic oil. If you swap it out, it's going to cause leaks. So funny story, I had a 2001 Toyota, because I'm a Toyota guy, Toyota and Honda all day long. 2001 Toyota Sienna, and it had some of the, the engine was tilted, it's a V6, that's how it's designed, it's supposed to be that way, mounted in the car. This valve cover in the back was notorious for having buildup of basically kind of like burned oil. And the solution was actually to put synthetic oil in there all the time, and that should clean it up. So I thought, well, we'll see. But I tried it anyway because it was a very cheap car that I got used. So lo and behold, I started using Mobil 1, put it in there, and it started running better. I got a little bit better gas mileage, not much, but whenever I cleaned the car out, I would notice the valve cover was totally clean. And the first time I looked at it, it was just a mess. So it actually did clear it out over time, which was cool. But if you're not sure, I have never had anything break when you put synthetic fully in there. It's supposed to be a complete replacement. It'll say on the back all the cool stuff that it is, but I'll save you the time of reading. Fully synthetic oil is what most of the vehicles these days, everybody has newer cars than me, it seems like. So go full synthetic. I'm a Costco guy. I like everything at Costco because it tends to be cheap, and this oil was no exception. This is basically just like when you buy their vodka, and it's like basically like Grey Goose, and it's Kirkland brand. They do that with a lot of stuff. Someone else bottles it, but it's the same thing. This particular one is basically Mobil 1 synthetic. I have had no issues with this stuff. It's cheap. I use it all the time. My next thing is I always change my oil at about 5,000 miles or 6 months, whatever happens first. And this is critical for your engine because these Toyotas will last a long time. This car here is the one that has 2,006,000 miles, I believe, on it, 200,006. So we got a lot of miles on this one. My truck is 248, I think, and the Pilot's a baby. It still has like, I think, 128. So I just did the oil on that one, so I should do another video on that. But there's two parts. So basically you drain your oil out into a pan. You need usually 4 or 5 quarts. Again, you can Google, it'll tell you how much there is. You drain it all into a pan, and then you collect it, and then I let it sit there, and then I put the plug, there's a little plug, you put the plug back in the hole where you took it from, and then you pour your new oil in. Then you're almost done. There's one more thing, that is the oil filter. When I was younger, I used to buy these stupid expensive oil filters because I was convinced, because I saw someone cut one in half, like, oh, these are so much better, and blah blah blah. They have this screen in there and it catches more stuff. So the only thing that I will say I like to do is on these oil filters, I actually have rare earth magnets that I pulled out of stuff, and I like to, not this particular one, but this is basically a magnet. I like to stick a magnet to the oil filter. And let me see if I have a smaller one, because this is a massive one. Oh, here's a small little one. So, little rare earth magnet, bigger than this, of course, but I just stick it on the side. My theory, and I don't know if this works, I have no clue, but I just do this anyway because it's free and cheap. I just stick it on there. If there happens to be any ferrous or steel metal that's broken off of something, I want it to stay in the oil filter. That's what oil filter's job is for. If it does nothing, then whatever, I just take it off and I stick it on my bench. But it's something I started doing. A mechanic years ago told me it was a good idea. These things, though, every time you change your oil, you change your oil filter. This is a Fram. This is supposed to be grippy. I gotta tell you, if you get any oil on this, it gets slippy. So I'm gonna show you one of the tools I just bought from Amazon that I really like. Move this out of the way. It is this. Now this, I spray painted white, as I spray paint most of my tools white so I can find them. But the way this works is you put this on a ratchet. So let me bring this down a little so you can see. This is a 1/2-inch ratchet. There's actually a stubby one from Harbor Freight, which is really cool because you can adjust how you do this, but you can also do the main. So that's kind of nice. This is a stubby. This is just an extension, and this is this guy. So now, when you turn this, this turns like that. This should be able to accommodate most oil filters. So the way you would do this is you get underneath wherever you need to get to, you start to tighten this up, put it on the oil filter, and then this would be tightening, or rather, loosening. So you start to loosen, and once you get the grip, then you start to crank, and it will loosen your oil filter. That's how this is designed. So pick one of these up if you don't have one. They have some other kinds, but I really like this kind. The only thing is this little piece will come out. So I went ahead and used my favorite E6000 and glued it in. But change this every time you do your oil. These are cheap. Just change it. There's nothing super special about them. They're just there to collect oil. And that is the essence of changing your oil. So do this. You'll save your car, save you lots of money. Thanks, guys. Have a great day.